Hey, everybody. I want to talk about a couple of things today. One is confirmation bias, and the other one is the reticular activating system of the brain, and why those are important in the context of mind body syndrome. So, confirmation bias is a cognitive bias where individuals, right, we seek, we interpret, we remember information that aligns with pre existing beliefs while we disregard and downplay information that contradicts these beliefs. And that significantly impacts decision making, critical thinking, perceptions of people, perceptions of the world around us. The reticular activating system is a part of the brainstem that's responsible for regulating wakefulness, alertness, attention. It acts as a filter, right? At determining which sensory information is important and should be brought to our conscious awareness. So, another way to put it is the reticular activating system takes all the information that's coming at us every day. And we are bombarded with information from friends, coworkers, radio, if you're still listening to the radio, podcasts, Facebook, Instagram, right? All this information is coming at us, and it's too much for the brain to process. So the reticular activating system says, okay, I'm going to take everything that doesn't line up with this person's beliefs, and I'm just going to filter that out. And so that this person pays attention to what lines up with their pre-existing beliefs. Here's why this is important. For 14 years, I went to doctors, chronic health issues. I had one diagnosis after another. They just heaped on more and more. And adrenal fatigue, for example, was a big one for me, and then later adrenal insufficiency. And I read everything I could find on it. I read books. I um, read information that doctors gave me. So I had this belief system built around adrenal fatigue and everything else I had going on, right? I had POTS, I had histamine intolerance, hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, leaky gut, gosh, what else? Anxiety, depression, SIBO. I mean, I had a laundry list of things. And I had all this information from doctors and books on how basically it was all about my body. So then I found out about mind body syndrome. And while that really made sense, right, that if so many things were going wrong with my body, it made sense that the brain was really responsible, that the brain was causing these symptoms. But initially, that was really hard to believe. And as I'm scrolling Facebook or Instagram, I was drawn to and noticed the things that lined up with my beliefs about adrenal fatigue. So in the beginning, it took effort, it took time, it took consistency and frequency to learn something different. And you might say, well, I can't just believe something else. What if that's not true? Well, what if you have been believing it's not true? What if that's not really the truth? And what if, mind body syndrome, for example, is what you need to learn about? So, confirmation bias means that, our beliefs or line up or we remember information, interpret things based on prior beliefs, pre existing beliefs. Reticular activating system is a part of the brain that filters out information that doesn't line up with your current beliefs. And what that would look like, maybe you're scrolling Facebook and maybe there is something about mind body syndrome and chronic Lyme disease, for example, right? That's another diagnosis I had. But you scroll right through it. You don't even notice it because your attention goes to this other thing that talks about a treatment for chronic Lyme disease. It's just kind of an example that came to mind. And here's the takeaway. You need education. You need to educate yourself about the mind-body connection. We are three-part beings. We are spirit, soul, and body. The soul includes the mind, your thoughts, your will, your emotions. The spirit is renewed when you give your life to Christ. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Sorry about that, ding, that's my phone. So you need the education. And in Christian Brain Rewire, in our group coaching program, we combine biblical healing principles, neuroplasticity, the mind-body connection. So if you need help, join us in group coaching, look at testimonies, read books, educate yourself, change your beliefs, make a decision to change your beliefs. that's a start. And just give it some time and see maybe if this information and new information doesn't make more sense than what you've been believing.